We're driving, coming back with another video. This one is about, well, what triggered my thought process on this was a customer asked me for a discount for Sewell, and they are 30 minutes away. Yeah, they're 30 minutes away from us. They're 13 miles from us or something like that. I've raised delivery rates probably about a month or two ago to really represent how much time we're spending in the vehicle. So if somebody's 30 minutes away, we got to drive 30 minutes there, then we got to drive 30 minutes back to the shop. This doesn't include trailer load time either. That's something to consider. But we also have to return to pick the items up. So it's, we have to go back the following day, 30 minutes there, then 30 minutes back. Does not include loading the trailer, unloading the trailer. In a hypothetical scenario, my guys typically make $20 an hour. Even if it's me in the vehicle, like, I don't take too much money from the business. When I do, it's a lump sum. But we're gonna just consider that I'm making $20 an hour, or if I had to send another tech out, a driver and a helper, for example, that would be $40 an hour. So if we're driving half hour there, half hour back, it's 2 hours of drive time, probably even more if you consider trailer load time, but we'll just use 2 hours. So at $40 an hour, that's $80. And then if you're driving for 2 hours, you're probably going to use at least quarter tank maybe. So you got $10 to $20 in fuel wrapped up in that. If you drive a bigger vehicle, it could even be $30 to $40, say. So to break even, your delivery cost is going to have to be anywhere from $100 to $120 an hour. So I'm always reasonable. If there's an issue with an order where a customer feels like it's too expensive, I understand. Oh, there we go. Vroom, vroom. So just with that, and that whole little vroom vroom made me lose my train of thought here. Yeah, so you got, to break even, you got $100 to cover your costs. So, you have to charge accordingly, because if not, you're going to lose money. It's hard factoring in pricing because there's three factors. There's the equipment cost, there's the delivery cost, and then if the customer wants the item set up. So it's like you could hide some of your pricing in the cost of the equipment to kind of, because everything's by delivery, to kind of fluff the numbers a little bit to make it look like one's not as heavy as the other. But then there's also like I have a tent that's worth $2,000, and then some other of my tents are $400. It's expensive stuff, so you have to get the cost of the item to make your investment back on the item. There's a reason that people rent it. So it's like you really shouldn't be taking money from that to cover this, to make the customer subconsciously feel better about the pricing. I mean, there are tactics, but just to cover your basis, you're looking at $100 for delivery for something that's 30 minutes away. And then, not to factor in the cost of insurance and auto insurance and workman's comp and just all different kinds of costs. The time that it takes to clean chairs, for example. We talked about that on one of the other videos. I spend $200 a week on 2 to 3 guys to clean chairs. It covers 4 hours, whatever, something like that, between the 3 of them. Yeah, so there's a lot of different key factors here that go into the pricing model, and I would just be cautious, regardless of any business that you operate. There's any plumber, you call any plumber, it's going to be, a lot of them don't do free estimates, and it's respectably so. If I was a plumber, I would stay far away from residential. Residential customers, you only deal with them once. If anything goes wrong, you're dealing with old stuff. Like, there's just so many things that can go wrong with residential customers. And props to the guys out there that do it. I'm not saying that there's not a model there, but yeah, like, I would probably stick to commercial work, honestly. You find a Home Depot, like, account, and they have, shoot, there's freaking 8 Home Depots in a 10-mile radius around here, you know what I mean? And there's probably 5,000 light bulbs in every single one of those Home Depots. If you could be the guy that just goes to change light bulbs for Home Depots, you got 8 of them right in your backyard, and you go to them once a month. You know, commercial residential customers not calling you like that. Even with the rentals, you know, it's like the building that repeat thing is really important, because then you're not spending more money to find customers. That's another factor. Like, I'm probably $2,000 to $3,000 deep in ads for the past 2 to 3 months. Yeah, there's just so many hidden costs that just rack up and rack up and rack up. Like, you almost feel bad charging what you feel sometimes, but then you sit down with a notebook and you start writing things down, and you realize, like, oh wow, we should have X amount more dollars in the bank, but we weren't charging correctly, and now the business is suffering because of it. Just some things to think about, you know. Any business, know your worth, know your value. As Alex Hormozy would say, like, you find rich people that don't have time, and you do have time. So you solve their problems because you have the time to do it, and you charge accordingly. You know, just a side thought. But yeah, that is it's a cool little tangent there. Wanted to talk about that, know your worth, and actually look at your numbers and see what it costs to get these customers and keep them happy and get the job done correctly. There's a lot of people out there skimming numbers, not doing things correctly. They don't have insurance. They're not showing up. Reputable contractors are expensive because they actually show up and they know their value. And that comes at a price, you know? You can go find a guy on Facebook Marketplace, but like last week I got a call, a lady was having a backyard wedding for 70 chairs and the guy didn't show up. So she called me, like, in a panic as an emergency. I was booked, but I was able to refer her to another reputable vendor that we work with, and she was able to get the chairs that she needed. Just by calling the right people, you know? It's like, if I can't help them, I'll direct them in a direction that I can, but, you know, the value is there. The where we need to be is there, you know? Like, I'm taken care of, so I'm answering my phone. I know that when I answer my phone, there's going to be, you know, probably 60% of the customers that don't like it. Yeah. So, they can take their chances with somebody else, but, I mean, I'm in line with any other reputable vendor out here. I'm actually a little bit below the bar. I'm definitely not the cheapest, but I'm most definitely not the most expensive, and it's kind of where I like to be. You know, I always tell them, feel free to shop around. If you can find a better deal, I don't blame you. But one thing's promised, we will show up, we will communicate, we will do the job right. And for us to do that, it's going to cost this amount of money. You can take it or you can leave it. So that's that. Appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm trying to post more videos. If there's something that you want to hear me talk about, let me know. All I can do is talk from my experience, but I like doing it. And if it helps somebody out there, I'm happy to do so. Hopefully I catch you guys on the next one.